So there's something magical about bamboo that no matter the countries where we're living, there's always something that builds a community around bamboo and around this material and around people that you can meet in different parts, in different workshops, and here in Bali that has like this attraction part that you can come here, meet people, and get to build things. So we're very happy to have some friends here in Bali because we met 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
We all met here 3 years ago, and we're so happy that we are planning to build a very interesting project. We are testing and we are working on this project here at the factory. So welcome Mia, welcome Elliot, Ed. Very nice to have you all here.
Thanks, Luis.
So we were talking about community. We were talking about how we can create things together, and that's something that always resonates with everyone that builds with bamboo. Like all this part of people from different parts of the world, how bamboo can attract people and how it can connect people. So how does that feel for all of you?
And I first heard about the project from Ed and Elliot, who I met in Bali 3 years ago. And I was working with Bamboo U as a student visitor at the time and just starting my journey with bamboo and so excited. And I'd done some festivals before in Australia and they reached out and wanted some architectural help and had this crazy idea that Elliot had come up with in Burning Man.
Yeah, actually it all started at Burning Man after attending the design build course in Bali. I had a vision of bringing the beauty, the flexibility, the strength of bamboo to the community in Nevada that I have built and love so very much. And this crazy idea actually started as a giant conch shell in a sound healing experience as a way to bring resonance through sound, through frequency and bamboo. And it's kind of morphed into this tree in a multi-year kind of project and brought us, together here in Bali today.
For me, I mean, bamboo is not a material you instantly think about with the UK. It's not tropical, but coming to Bamboo U in Bali a few years ago and just getting excited with this amazing material that you can just pick up and make these kind of huge structures with in a matter of hours. That's how kind of I got into it, and then starting on this journey with Elliot and the project, we just, as soon as he mentioned it, we just kind of wanted to get involved and make it happen.
But I want to know a little bit more, Elliot, about like what's the idea, because you're sort of like the one that with all the ideas with everyone, like you're in contact separately with each of us and checking in with everyone, but also doing this hard work of following up and putting things together. Okay, next step, this and that and that. So how's that process for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing, to be honest, because this all started because I wanted to experience this for myself. I'm a little kid at heart. And Burning Man's a big playground, and bamboo was a new tool in my toolbox. And so having an opportunity to express that vision through bamboo and watching how people just gravitate to the vision because of the bamboo and sustainability story, the beauty of the material. And that's really how Resonance formed as a brand and as an idea. It was like bringing people together in like a commonality and in a frequency. And it's a lot of work. I had a construction company before, so luckily the project management experience is something that I already had built up. And what I've been really learning about is the art world, the nonprofit world, the grants, the communication, the press, the PR, and then also layering in that like we're friends, and then we have like professional components, and there's like now like some money coming into the project, and the construction's happening, and like we eventually need to get insurance and all kinds of things for a massive structure that's got nets, and it's just it's a lot of different moving parts and pieces, but I absolutely love it. So it's a passion of mine, and it's been really amazing.
Amazing.
I think there's something about this place that I hear a lot from people is that when you come here, it makes you feel like anything is possible. And I think that's kind of why we were able to do this in the first place. I mean, it's a crazy dream, especially if someone messages you and says, oh, do you want to be part of this thing? And we've had to kind of keep believing for a year or two, and keep working and keep putting in the long hours and believing in this thing. And I think partly that's because of this place, because it does feel like you can do anything because we have done all these things here. So I think that's part of it as well.
Yeah, that's very good point, because if you try to think about one project and do it by yourself, it's like a massive task. It's something that sounds like almost impossible. But once you feel that there's different people from different parts, like offering something and putting their own part, it's something magical, because it requires a lot of things. It requires from someone to have the idea and to really put together a team. But also another important part is like, okay, how it's gonna work, like how we're gonna build it, what's the process, what's the real details, like someone that needs to be in a way like looking at the project, doing testing and running some numbers, and that's something that you've been doing a lot. So
yeah, I mean, it's so important to actually to get moving with a model and something physical. There's only so much you can do on the computer with Bamboo, you know, figuring out the details and things. But yeah, from the beginning, we started just getting something in visual form on the computer to work from. And that's kind of a Rhino grasshopper kind of parametric that we had to get this kind of shape moving. But that really just got us something to start with, kind of get people excited about it, see something coming out, and then we moved into physical modeling as soon as we could, really, just to figure out how we might actually build it, which I think is really important from the beginning with a project that's going to be built in the desert by people that need to be taught about bamboo for the first time. You know, we're bringing together new people into bamboo world.
people might be thinking about, what about logistics, what about shipping, what about foundations, what about material, what about levels of humidity, shrinking of bamboo, split. Yesterday we were even talking about, okay, who's gonna be standing on a scaffolding, how you're gonna grab one bamboo split, like all those kind of things are part of the planning, are part of the process, just to create something magical and something beautiful that can be also very meaningful. So
logistics and regenerative side, it's been really a huge lift of learning the international shipping, the logistics of like how this material goes from the plantation that you guys harvest to here, and then all the way to the deserts of Black Rock City. But it's been also a really beautiful learning experience and understanding of the sustainability, and we're actually tracking it from the beginning so we can understand the real carbon footprint of this project. And it's been amazing to see actually the efficiency of ocean transportation and getting everything into one shipping container and having one central supplier. And we actually looked at Colombia, we looked at Mexico, we looked at all the other more adjacent marketplaces for building with bamboo. And because you guys have in-house everything here, not only the material supply, but the expertise in the factory, and then also the construction expertise, it really was simpler. It was simpler and it was more efficient, both from a cost standpoint and from a sustainability standpoint. And so it was really amazing how everything just kind of kept pushing its way back to like, this is the relationship that wants to grow and wants to blossom.
Yeah, and could you walk us through like the structures? How, if we can like just imagine that we're dissecting the project, what does that entail? Like, what are the structural elements? How you plan to start building it, and what's that process?
Yeah, sure. I mean, every component is being used for something specific. But fundamentally, we wanted an elegant shape, and the tree concept formed, and it technically is made up out of different elements that have been done before. You know, the hyperbolic tower and the grid shell, but the way we're combining them is really specific to its purpose. So We have the main hyperbolic tower that's doing the most of the strength. So it's the trunk of the tree.
Yeah.
We have the rings, which are made of splits, bamboo splits, holding it together. That's essentially stopping it expanding out. We have these limbs, which are made of glued splits. That's forming the shape of the tree's limbs. And there's a whole split grid shell component, which is going to be woven around, which is kind of an extra layer of strength. So we're building in redundancy, but with the elements of form. That's what we're trying to do.
And then there'll be some roots coming out on the ground as well. So we're still finishing up the model, but it's going to be pretty special in person to see.
Yeah, that's something very cool, that there's always like a work in progress. Like, what if we add this, and then, oh yeah, this can be a door, then that's the entrance. Oh, how will we build it? And there's always questions, and having these kind of meetings like yesterday, like looking at the model, and like you get to solve so many things because you put like all brains there in the project to see and plan, etc. Each of us will have like a different expectation or a different idea of what we will face. Yeah, everyone will have like our own fears and our own like thoughts on how will this work. So we're very excited to see this happening.
Yeah, and I want to touch a little bit more on the structure, because from the very beginning, and this is phase one of a 2-year project that'll be like basically 4 times this size, it's been how far can we push the bamboo? And it's been a push and pull of like, here's like the vision, like we want to be able to get 75 people in the top of this hanging out in nets, and we want it to be safe. And like, is it possible? Like, how can we build in the redundancies? How can we, take this material, which is really strong, and also make sure it's safe? And that's why pre-building it here is really important, and understanding it, and then continuing to build in the redundancies, and having all of the systems working together just kind of naturally and organically, form the split arches for the limbs, the grid shell, the hyperbolic tower, the hyperbolic roof, and then the nets, which aren't shown here, which are the like fun, playful component that makes the experience interactive for all the participants that are going to be coming through this piece over a short period of time.
I'd say because this is kind of a world stage for artwork and bamboo, and we wanted to use the bamboo as the structure. We didn't want some kind of superficial coating on top of a steel scaffolding. This is the bamboo doing the work, and it can, because it's strong enough. We just need to show that.
It's a perfect material for temporary art structures as well. I think is important to add, because it is for a short amount of time, this first time, and we're not going to have toxic material going into landfill after. So it's perfect for art and experimentation, and you can have as much fun as you want, and then not feel bad about it. So I think for these kind of structures, temporary, it's perfect.
Also, just safety. Lewis, if you pick up these 8-meter poles, and you can carry them in one hand.
That's something very interesting, because we've been building here houses and restaurants and bridges and all of that, and then the question that we really have, and we have many times, is like, okay, but I live in a context and I live in a country where coding will not allow me to build something with bamboo. That fire will be a main issue to how to avoid that. But these kind of structures also help to start setting like a statement of what can be done in different contexts. Like in Australia, it's happening like with temporary structures. Now it's going to be amazing to have this project in the States, in Burning Man. So it's like a massive festival that can showcase this material and slowly start winning space and getting traction to be mainstream in different kind of context.
Totally. And I think that's one of the most like important conversations and hopefully starters that this piece can make. It's like, wait, look at this material that we're ignoring and saying it isn't safe. and then look at the impact,
Yeah.
and and then start to see the context. And our fiscal sponsor for the project is actually in Santa Monica, California, and they're having conversations with the local county about how it can be displayed in their on the pier as a statement piece. And there's a big vision that they're holding of having this material being displayed for the 2028 Olympics. And so that's like the full project scope, is that we can come back in 2027 with the full residence conch, and then get the city of Santa Monica and that, like, big stage for the Olympics. That would be like the full circle.
That's very
vision.
exciting. That's very exciting. Yeah, looking forward to it. And what's next? What are we doing in the next couple of days here at the factory? And what's the next plan?
Well, we have the tower built just behind you over there, and we've been testing out the ways that we want to build it in the Playa and Burning Man, and successfully. And that's going to be exciting because we've been also sharing new methods with the builders here. And the next thing we're going to do is try and get some of the roof elements fixed. So testing out some of the grid shell components, making sure we can physically get the splits up there, finishing off the roof. And I mean, it's going to be packed away in the container in a couple of days. So it's going to be a busy few days for us.
Yeah.
And then the container is going all the way to first, we're doing Surabaya.
Surabaya, yeah, the journey is it goes to Surabaya and East Java. And then from East Java, our specific boat gets routed, I don't remember, but not directly to Oakland, California. It has a stopover. Then it goes to Oakland, and then we have a staging warehouse in Nevada City, and we hope to be able to share the bamboo with the community there. And then it'll go to Black Rock City. And just touching on the schedule really quick, because the tree didn't exist 2.5 weeks ago.
Right.
We had a giant conch shell that was 4 times as big, and we had no budget.
And we were working on
that we were working on, and that we have been working on for over a year and a half. And then we put all this time and energy, and then basically we had an opportunity to build a scaled down version of the project based on a budget scaling down. And it was like, what can you do with 1/5 of the budget that you had envisioned for this other project? And in a very collaborative design process, quickly the tree really organically, came to light. But the schedule has been insane. 2 weeks ago, I'm in Tulum, Mexico. He's in London, you're in Australia. We're all continuing the conversation. And now, and really hats off to PT Bamboo Pure for their excitement and jumping into it. Because even before we got here, they started manufacturing components with the design that's still being changed and developed. And knowing that it needs to ship out in less than 10 days from now, and the material still needs to be fully dried. And it's been a really crazy schedule, and it's also been really exciting because it's so many things.
And the design's still in process.
Every night.
But that's the way that working with bamboo, it allows you to work in that way. Because I like to think that working with bamboo, it gives you so much forgiveness to error, so much tolerances, and you are literally able to leave some things to on-site decision. We'll see. And that's something that really changed the way that we usually build and the way that we usually design. Like, okay, we'll see. Tell that to a contractor, to a normal contractor.
Well, just an example of that. So we're building everything now, but we can't bolt it because when we bolt it together on the plier, everything's going to be in a slightly different position. There'll be slight kind of humidity affecting the bamboo, so everything gets drilled finally on site, which is completely different to any other form of construction. You know where the bolts are going to go, and you drill them. But here we're going to be up in the air drilling the holes, so fit for purpose.
So it's been a super interesting journey. We are looking forward to see this project done. We hope also that not only for the build and the construction, we will be able also to do something there. We're looking forward to it as well. So So we'll be showing the process of all this project as well. And thanks for coming. Thanks for making this happen. And if you want to share something just to wrap it up.
Oh, well, it's just great to be here, Lewis, working with the team. It's just a fantastic place to spend some time and do some design work. I just couldn't be happier to be here, really.
Yeah, it's such a amazing opportunity to work with Bamboo and to work with amazing people and to work on a fun project that has both purpose and passion and playfulness. It's really bringing a lot of joy to my being. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
I think I'll just say that the power of coming together as a team and having this idea for a project, as crazy as it was, and then a year later it's happening, which is pretty special, even if we weren't sure if it was. So I think that's pretty amazing. If you really believe that you can do it and come together, things can happen. So.
Dreams come true in Bali.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
That's true. Dreams come true here. No matter, yeah. And that's something that we really like to support you all in your journey with Bamboo. And if you have any other project that you would like also to share and come to Bali, you will find great people here and things will get built and also projects can get built. So yeah, thanks a lot and see you on the next build.
Mm-hmm.